Good afternoon and welcome to All About Animals. I'm Sherry Gratitor and my guest today is Paula Lindsley, who is a massage therapist for animals. And this is her dog. What's her name?
Bella.
This is her dog, Bella, who is going to be our test dog for the day. And we're going to talk a little bit about animal massage because you do more than dogs, correct? You do dogs and horses?
Dogs and horses mainly.
Yes. And this little girl kind of likes to be rubbed all over the place.
She's used to it.
Oh, you're a good girl. Oh, she's a good girl. Yes, she is. Okay, tell me, why massage for dogs?
There's so many reasons for dogs to have massages. One is if you rescue a dog or adopt a dog from a shelter, it's just a real good way to bond with that animal. They learn how to trust you. They learn that no matter what they've been through before, or even if they just haven't had human contact and human touch. A lot of the puppy mill puppies, they never have human touch. So they learn that human touch is a good thing, and it brings you a lot closer than just doing one of those and feeding and stuff like that. But it brings you a lot closer of a bond with your animal. So that's one great reason. Another one would be recovery from an injury, recovery from a surgery, anything like that. Old age. I do a lot of once a month type visits. A lot of just keeping them flexible, because as they age, especially the big ones with just arthritis or like degenerative joint disease, anything like that, they get sore, so they move less. So then they put on weight. So then they get less flexible, so then they can't move, so then they lay around even more, and it just gets worse and worse for them.
It's like a deteriorating cycle.
Right, and then they end up on more pain meds, and then they end up, cutting off a little bit of extra time, that maybe we could have prolonged them, to have, a good quality life. Like I said, anything like from an injury, even I went to the park, we overdid it, and so this leg's sore, so then the rest of the body compensates for that. So it just, you can get in there and just straighten everything out and, give it time for that to repair.
She hears something out there that's not making her happy.
Down.
She's such a good girl.
So that's, that's some of the reasons for, it increases circulation. For the older dogs, you see the dogs that have, the decreased muscle mass in back. You can kind of slow that down with massage, because instead of them physically moving their muscles, you can work the circulation into there, the nutrients get into the muscles, and you can't stop it, but you can slow it down a little bit.
Now, when you're doing massage on a dog, and I'm going to ask you to show us with her and talk if you can while you're working. Okay. How deep do you go with your hand?
What you want to do, which I generally, as a rule, do, is you put as much pressure as you would to move your eyelid around. So you're not doing a lot of like we go in and, you're like, ow, 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 but it's going to do that. It's going to help you in the long run. These guys don't understand it. They don't understand being hurt. To be better. And the same way with the horses. You do that to a horse and, you may end up in the next stall. So what you do is that you just stay in the same place a little bit longer, just to work through the tissues to go a little bit deeper.
Now listen, she's actually moaning in place while you're doing that.
So that's what you do. You don't get in there and really do it like our massage people do.
You just got a paw of doing
I did. I stopped and I was talking, so she made sure
Start on her and show us how you would start with a dog if you were unfamiliar with the dog. It was the first time you were going to do massage on a dog that was, let's see, aging but healthy. Okay.
What I would do, depending on the dog's temperament, either they can come into the clinic, or if they're nervous when they're here, then I usually, let the people know that we can go to their house, because to try to get an animal to relax in a place that they're scared of, for one, it's not fair to ask that of them. And for two, there's no physical way they can relax enough to get the benefits of the massage therapy. But what I usually do the first visit, we sometimes don't get a lot of work done because it's mostly getting that bond and gaining the trust that, okay, why am I here if they're at the clinic, or why is a stranger in my house and why are they touching me? And you know, so you just kind of got to build that trust, and usually that's what at least half of the first visit is. And then generally what I'll do is just kind of go over their whole body, kind of like in a stroking motion, and what that does alerts me to any areas that are hot, or you know, any areas that might be sore, or you know, you can feel little tight areas in the muscles. So it kind of alerts me to, kind of gives me like a map of what I need to do. You know, and then I usually start at the head, you know, and do all one side.
Show me.
What you're doing is you're just, you know, working your way around. I'm going to do this kind of fast because usually a dog her size would take about an hour. So you're just working. A lot of times the dogs that are getting a little older, so usually they end up compensating with their front end because usually it's their back ends that they're having. So when they get up, they're pulling with their front end, or you know, they're stabling themselves with the front end, or they're bracing with their front end. So I usually end up doing a lot of work on the neck because if they are out of balance here, they usually catch themselves by moving their necks a little bit. A lot of chest work because they're pulling themselves up, you know, with their chest. Basically, they do a lot of extra work with like this part of their body, and then, you know, I'll you know, go down their legs and make sure, you know, that's okay. Once the dog knows me a little bit better, then we can start, you know, with the range of motion. You know, and it just kind of keeps their joints a little bit, you know, more flexible. And I can also find things before they're really bad, you know, that I can let the doctors know, well, you might want to check this or x-ray this or something like that. Plus just the, you know, just the flexibility of keeping their joints moving if they are a little less active than they used to be. So that's what I find, you know, helps quite a bit. But just to, you know, go down their spines, you know, loosen up all these muscles. A lot of dogs with bad knees will compensate with this part of their back. You know, so you notice if they're trying to squat down or sit down, they kind of have that little extra arch here because they're trying to hold their muscles. So, you know, this is a good way to find out all that information. So that's where we, you know, that's where we work on those areas are usually the biggest problem areas in the larger dogs that, you know, are getting a little bit aged.
You can tell that she's not
like you.